website don't have some archaic website.
Yeah.
Social media, you have to have that. And, we're probably going to do Discord and primarily with Reddit and Twitter as backups.
Yeah.
Let's see. 5 coin needs a real purpose that is not a hopeful replacement of another's. We already got that. As far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any other coin that does what I've shown you guys that ours will do.
That's true.
I haven't actually seen the extent of it, but I trust that because I think you've seen enough burning by now. You know what's going to happen. So
yeah. Well, coin? I mean, just it's called Cora, or it's something that we're working on. It's still very early alpha. Nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I know what that is.
Not that nothing's been done with it, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any decentralized web hosting. I don't think that exists. If it does, I probably would have heard about it by now.
I haven't seen it. I've heard of people talking about it, but nothing yet.
Web hosting
is already decentralized website hosting. Create your own website for basically free.
Seeing everything else, not like domains, but not hosting.
Yeah. Like I've seen there's the Intrazone for the social media, but not specifically host your own quote unquote website. I've launched the decentralized browser too. It's actually kind of cool. Nothing's coming up yet, but it is cool.
Which coin?
For Cora here.
No, there. Oh God, I thought there was one somewhere. I'll have to figure out where it was, but there was one somewhere, but I don't know exactly, where it is.
Yeah. Hey, Fire, I got your PM. I have food all over the place on my desk right now.
No worry, no
get to that. Okay,
it's for later, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking now it's 7,300 and going.
Cool, you're getting there.
Yeah, no error message yet.
Oh, the other reason for the wallet pre-compiling, by the way, was do you remember not too long ago, maybe 3 months ago, 2 months ago, there was a phase we were in where every shitcoin that was released, that whether it was related to one another or not, if it was at the absolute shit level, the scum level, they didn't pre-compile the wallet. That was how you would determine for a minute there. And then eventually they got the idea that they would just pay someone to compile it. Now they're all just compiled. But so, that's just a kind of a fail-safe there. That's a stop right there.
Makes sense.
But the biggest reason for the end user is really so that everything is prepared. If you make an announcement that you're releasing, then release it the minute you say that you announce that you are releasing. Any other problem that happens in between there, and we've done this with probably about 3 brand new coins. What's happening with Pearl now? One of them, the people pre-mined so much of it that by the time that they actually started mining, the people who were still mining it would have had something like 50% of the coin. And then one of them, the pools kept shutting down, and eventually they quit hosting their own pool, which was cool that they were doing that because they should. But
Intense coin?
Yes, it was Intense coin, and their general response was that it was the fault of the people who were mining it. It's like, come on, man, really? No, it doesn't work that way. Nope. So, those kinds of things, and in every single one of these situations, there's always this one guy who's able to mine. There's this one guy or a couple guys. And everybody's like, no, it's cool. They're only getting, the first couple hundred blocks. They're only getting, well, that's the first couple hundred, man.
I don't think people are aware that you can launch your own wallet, you can launch your own pool, you can launch your coin in secret. Mm-hmm. You can mine it to verify that it works, and then you can delete everything and relaunch it again fresh for everybody else.
Yep.
Nobody does that. I don't know why. Don't have your testing period be from block 0, block 1 to 1,000, and then everybody else jumps into 1,001. Do it from 1 to 1,000, then go back and delete everything, and then relaunch it at block 1 for everybody else.
Well, notice I didn't.
So true.
I was just gonna say that's so true. I mean, if you're doing this, like if you're doing production, if you're doing it, let's say at the enterprise level, before you do a production launch, you do proper solution testings in like a skunkworks environment, then you do like a UAT or like an alpha test, clear everything out, and then start new with a production when you know it's going to be smooth, right? And no one does it. It's insane.
Well, I don't think it's possible that you can create a coin and go through all the technical detail that's necessary to release something that at least is passable, if not plausible, and not know that you could delete it and restart. They just don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unless they're paid someone else to create it for them.
I appreciate you telling me that. I had never considered that. Which, by the way, is along the lines of the wallet thing where the one group stole a bunch of Signatum from the pools and their wallets were locked down. I had no idea that a wallet could be locked down until that happened.
Can't.
Well, then how did? Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, we just signed.
Yeah, I'll let you make your own decision there, but
I see. No, I
skinny
get
of
it.
it is that you can't do that.
I see. All right, fair enough. Done.
Where were
Sometimes
we?
you just say words.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Number 6 here. I think that's where we're at, right?
Mm.
So obviously, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Don't have your entire roadmap be we're going to get it on exchanges. You actually have to have some sort of direction that your coin is going to go in and actually have a plan on how you're going to get there.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Don't say I release my coin. Our roadmap for the next 2 years is to get it on every exchange on the planet.
I've literally seen that.
That
where
doesn't
the
make a good
first
coin.
3 stages of a 4-stage roadmap was exchange by name, and then the 4th one was basically win.
That's not a good coin.
No, it wasn't. And the 4th stage was, okay, I'll be a little more realistic. It was something like, then it will be traded, in stores, hand to hand, and what is that? Are you scrying that from a crystal ball?
Why does everybody say that, man?
Because it's the only thing they can do with a digital currency. It's a digital currency. I've created a new rock. I've created a new special block in Minecraft for the server so that everyone can trade that instead of gold. And they keep thinking that alone is enough because Bitcoin did it. And that's the biggest thing. Honestly, I should make, what are we on, 8? I should make a 9th one that says, simply because another coin got away with it is not an excuse.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone uses. They're like, well, look at Bitcoin. We'll look at Doge. We'll look at Ethereum. Man, those are flukes. Those are because the people moved that direction. You're not going to move people with the same shit. You're just not going to.
It's like trying to become an inventor and be a millionaire. Like, no, you go into it because you like inventing shit, not because you think you're going to make $1 billion off of a pet rock.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yep.
Odds are you're going to invent something, it's going to fail, and you're never going to amount to anything.
That's what irritates me about Digibyte. The one thing that Digibyte was missing was a commerce system. That's all they were really missing. They didn't need to have a marketplace. They need to have plugins for the games that they were hosting so that they could trade the Digibyte against each other. They could use it as in-game currency to rally together a raid. I'll pay everybody a certain amount of Digibyte to get in the raid. If you're pro, if you're not, screw your shit. I'm paying somebody else. Yep. You could do it betting, but they couldn't say that because that's illegal as hell, in the States. But they could say, Digibyte, make your agreements and trade the stuff out in the games that you're playing, that you're mining Digibyte with. But they didn't do that. It would be dominant right now if they had done that. But it isn't. Unfortunately, it's left to the sways and the whims of the Wolf of Poloniacs.
Yeah, they screwed themselves on marketing, and that's why you need to get good marketing people. A lot of devs in particular don't realize this because I'll jump into new coin slacks and stuff like that, and I'll see them trying to market their coin. I'm like, dude, just stop. Like, don't do this. You're gonna kill your coin before you even launch it. Like, get people that know what they're doing and let them do it for you. Just do it.
Or just release shitcoins and glorify that. Just do your thing.
I mean, yeah.
I don't look down on them because the money that I make right now is kind of dependent on them existing.
Oh, I love a good shitcoin. If somebody launched and said, "Hey, this is shitcoin. It doesn't really do anything good, but you can mine it and sell it," and I'd be like, "All right, I'll mine it."
See, what I do is I wait for them to hit coin exchange, exactly that exchange, because their pumps are huge, and I just buy anything that hits 1 Satoshi. Don't care what it is. I mean, to some degree I care, but mostly I don't. I've bought some that were dead. I bought one the other night. that was dead the minute it hit Coin Exchange. It had some big old scandal. I guess they paid their fines, you know, to all the exchanges, got listed on a couple exchanges. And during the time they were getting listed, a big old scandal went down where the guy was getting arrested. So the coin died and it was selling for
wow.
1 Satoshi. And I saw a movement. And I was like, what's going on here? So I bought a little bit at one. I sold it at two. I bought a little bit at one. I sold it at two. And I did that all night long. I was like, oh my God.
Good
It's
money
called,
doing that.
what's it called? It's called, I got it right now. It's called, oh, come on, Paris coin. And it actually, what was behind it was a fake scandal. It was, the whole thing was faked. There was another coin. It wasn't Linda, but it sounds like Linda, like Lydia or something. And it was released, and Paris Hilton was supposed to have followed behind it. She was going to back the coin. So they made this coin called the Paris coin. And then it was found out
Yes.
that the guy who invented both of these coins, you know, because this was supposed to support the Lydia, the people who invented both of these coins, the guy was apparently a woman beater and was already going to court for having beaten on a woman, and then was getting arrested recently for, it was exposed because he was arrested recently for beating on another woman. So apparently Paris Hilton backed out and said, no way, I'm not doing that. And none of that really happened. So it was just a fake scandal around a coin to create a name for the coin for the guy to dump in the beginning, and he's been long gone. As a matter of fact, another developer, and now that I've seen this personally with other coins where a group gets divided, I recognized it. Another person who was clearly on the development team dumped millions upon millions upon millions at 1 Satoshi. And but the developer, or one of them at least in the beginning, pumped the shit out of it and did the same thing, dropped like 6 Bitcoin worth. I think it was, I don't know, I'll have to go. I don't want to misquote myself, but you can go look at it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been
Hello,
flipping it.
people.
Hey, what's up, man? How you
What's up,
doing?
Stu?
I'm hopping in for a few minutes. What's this crap with Pearl and the million
quick-
people?
Yeah.
Quick rundown is there's a million people on the Slack, and I think Big Hash might have just posted the link. He didn't say that we were associated with Pearl. He just said, "Hey, come to this Discord."
Yeah.
And a shitload of people did come in, and they thought that we were associated with Pearl, but they should know we're not by now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much it.
Yep.
But it's good to get some more traffic.
Yep.
So
True,
good on you,
but
Big
think
Hash.
twice before doing things like that. If you're going to post in a coin which is new and it's failing
Hmm.
because of
True.
issues, don't try to advertise, because it puts a bad taste in people's mouths. So next time people will see our radio station, they won't always come now. So we've got to be careful there. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
it's just work smarter, not harder, is my terminology.
Yeah.
And we seem to be failing down, just like there was a post in a what do you call it, and Big Talk, because people were getting angry and the rest, and it caused us to get DOSed over it. So we got to think smarter, not harder. So it's little things like that. We just got to fly under the radar. We're here to help, not to cause waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we earned it out pretty well, but yeah, that's good advice to follow.
How's your,
Yeah, but if anyone is
distribution
still
going?
mining it, you can get the wallet going, but it's a Pearl Nodes wallet, not a Nodes, it's a Pearl Node.js. So you
Yep.
have to run like a virtual background for it. It's a pain in the ass to run. Why they've done it that way, I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't compile a Windows wallet unless I make a Qt wallet for it, but
So
I'm
it's like,
not doing things for any devs anymore unless they ask me personally, because I get just shot down. So I can make a wallet for it, but I'm not going to,
it's funny you should
because
ask that,
of
because
what's
we,
I
going on.
wouldn't bother. With
there's
this
someone in
coin.
here
I
who's
would not
asking
bother.
personally, Stu, check the pins if you are
Yeah.
bored.
I'd say enjoy your vacation over there. I mean, worry about this stuff when you come back again.
Yeah. Well, it's raining at the moment, so typical luck.
You're on vacation?
It's
Oh,
long
no.
weekend.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking
Gotcha.
3 days off.
Yeah, then yeah, do that.
So
thing.
I'm only popping in to say good day and doing this type
Oh.
of stuff, and that's about it. So
Well,
yeah.
thank you, sir. Can you give me the pertinent
Appreciate it.
information if you want me to do that on the Facebook, please?
Yeah. What do you want from me? I'm getting lost on your
Well,
question.
I can actually just pass people through to you, and I don't need anything if you like that. But I was just saying, contact information, email address, whatever you like.
Yeah, just send them to admin@masterhash.us.
Admin. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That way it'll just go through the correct channel, or tell them to PM me in Crypto Play Radio is the other way. That's why I'm going to get the traffic through Crypto Play, and they can just PM me in here. But like you said, I need to create a second account on Discord. Not using my personal account, I need to have a
Did you
master
reboot
hash
server?
account.
Well, while we don't have a lot of people in here,
No, should I have?
No, I was just curious. One of my rentals just giving me problems.
No, I'm still having ITZ issues on the main server, but on the one which is running the hardware firewall, ITZ's working fine on on the other pool. So anyone who wants to mine ITZ, I'd recommend using the backup pool.
excellent. And those can be accessed from the homepage. All right,
Yeah.
I just texted that to myself. As soon as I step in there, I'll have to mute to go around my son, but I'll go in there and post all the links. You can get to the pools from the homepage though, which is cryptoplayradio.com. It's at the top.
And Verge is up to 1 million coins, so we've still got 500,000 to go before I can, not coins, blocks, before I'll initiate Verge. It's taking very long time to synchronize. Then I've got 5 SHA-256 coins synchronizing in the background as well. And then we'll have to focus on coins that you guys can mine. By then, nodes will be up, and we'll have Zen, Zek, nodes, Komodo, and all that running.
I'm looking so forward to our launch with nodes.
Yeah, this is a very different launch, like most coins. You see, for example, Pearl. The issue with Pearl and all the rest like that, I don't think they've done any pre-checks and the rest with nodes because it's going to be such a big coin as well. We're doing so many load testing. We're doing pool testing. We're doing mining testing. We're doing backchain testing, everything else like that. So when launch happens, there'll be 0 faults. We're testing the wallet on Windows, Linux, all versions of Windows, Mac OS, everything. So it's perfect. And that's what you want for a launch. The launch doesn't have that. You know there's issues. But it means the coin's going to go somewhere. That's where the difference is.
Yep.
Who do we have in here?
Are you streaming right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
People
Yes, I
say
am.
the SIG-T launch was awful, but I didn't really find it that way. I was on it super early, and I didn't have any issues getting it all, so it was all good to go.
No,
As
yeah.
far as the actual
It's
progress
nothing like
on
Pearl.
it,
I jumped on that like day 2 or 3, I think, and I didn't have
Yeah,
any
exactly.
issues.
Yes.
No, well,
Thank
I
you
don't
for
understand.
that, by the
People
way.
kept saying it's scam launch like SIG. I was like, I mean, the coin itself is shit, but the launch was alright. I mean, Cryptovore put up a pretty nice guide for noobs as well, so yeah, whatever. People just say
Consequence, if you're still there, thank you for that deposit. The wallet's
problem.
now cleared up. So I don't know why, but it looks like there's a dev fee being extracted from the coin as you mine it.
Nice.
Interesting.
So that's why I'm going negative. I'm running the same script as what I'm running on the other coin we had the issue with, and it's not fixing it, except for my wallet keeps on going minus, so it's paying extra. So, and that'll be a dev fee.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've reduced the payout to 500 for the moment. It's still paying the 1,000, but by doing that, the wallet works out it's going to pay some here and then pays the rest to the users. So we should be right on that now.
Gotcha.
But it's a bit weird. If you have a dev fee, why don't you advertise it? Oh,
Yeah.
Pearl has a 2% dev fee as well, 2 coin fee.
10%. Yeah. 10%.
Fucking 10%, mate. How fucking?
What the?
That was not advertised in the
What?
announcement.
No.
Yeah.
No, so when you mine Pearl, 2 coins will be going to the dev every block.
Wow.
That goes back to what I was saying before. Like, if you're gonna do that, all right, say it, but announce it. Don't say that there's no pre-mine, no ICO, no Diffie, no nothing like that, and then do it anyways. Don't do
See,
that.
the
So
ideal
another
thing.
wallet.
On the positive side for Pearlcoin, they got to 10 posts on the forum before the launch, and now they're at 16 pages worth of posts. So they got like double the traffic.
Yeah.
All fucking hate,
That's
right?
good, right?
Yeah.
The ideal thing would be for everyone to just walk away and let them mine that shit themselves.
It's
Yeah.
a bit of a
That's
burn of electricity.
That bounced. I'm not mining that.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I learned my lesson.
Do you think maybe
Although I might learn how to compile wallets in Linux for the next time this might happen.
Yeah, the only other way to mine Pearl, it's a MyEther link.
Mhm.
So it probably works as a token. So if you have a look at tokens, you might find Pearl is already listed as a token on MyEther wallet.
May have.
Because looking at their GitHub,
Yeah.
they're advertising MyEther wallet download. So I haven't yet tried to log in with my code, but it may have an issue. So let me have a look. Let me load my key store.
Here's
I'm
the
not
new-
doing it for the dead fee.
On this,
Yeah.
fuck it.
the new Facebook page is right here, guys. If you guys have Facebook accounts.
Whoever downloaded the Coral wallet, did any of you get 100% synced?
Mine's taking a while, but it's on 20% right now.
Okay. People are.
I'll walk to my computer. I'll see what it's at.
Yeah, let me know when you're all synced up, and I'll send you some coins.
It's probably going to take, honestly, it probably take a couple hours where it's an older chain.
Yeah, it took me about 30, 45 minutes, something like that.
All right, maybe.
Yeah, I'm in October 2014 still. Block 37,000.
Okay, yeah, once you get a little bit higher up, it'll speed up. Because that's all POW stuff. Once you get over into the POS, it goes a lot quicker.
Yeah. Hey, Stu.
Yeah.
Hey, while I have you for a moment, do you have access to the traffic on the Arbiter's bot site? You do, right?
Yes,
All
I
right.
do.
Would you mind monitoring that over the next week or so? I actually listed it in the Facebook page just to see what kind of traffic that brings, so we know if people see that it's one of the services on there.
Okay, I can do that, or I can give you the link yourself if you want.
Oh, okay. If you want PM it to me, sure. Thank you.
But yeah, I will have a look.
Well, I doubt you're gonna
By
see
the way,
anything
Big
right away,
Hash.
but
Big Hash ran away.
yeah. Once a week, there's a news post that says hackers in North Korea tried to steal Bitcoin.
North
Yep.
Korea there's a lot of coin going by North Korea. But they've been doing that for years. It's
Yeah.
not something new.
No, they're not the only ones
Exactly.
stealing Bitcoin either.
Nope.
Would be pretty funny to find out that every ICO scam and every stolen Bitcoin was in North Korea.
Serious.
That would be impressive,
Glorious
actually.
people,
Yeah.
please provide us with bitcoins. Oh, glorious leader.
Yeah. Looks like
We
the
should create
Japanese.
We should create the North Korea coin.
I said that before. I said, and then just pump the shit out of it, make it the most valuable coin ever, and they won't have any of it. Not at first,
That would be
anyway.
Freaking hilarious, dude.
Mhm.
That could be a hilarious announcement post
Yeah.
and website.
Yeah.
It's getting a bit of traffic. We've had 109 views today.
It's already made like 10 times.
No, that's independent. That's different IPs.
Alright, sorry. That makes sense.
I'm gonna look for the last 24 hours and see what we have.
The fucking Varia guy's still in the chat and he still thinks that we're Pearl. He's fucking a bit of a funny buddy. It's fucking been told like 10 times.
I am so tired of seeing just Wall Street exposure and opinions toward Bitcoin. It's just getting old at this point.
Yeah, they don't even know what the fuck. I don't even think people even realize.
No.
Dude, have you
Cryptocurrency is.
seen the fucking Pearl Slack? Holy shit.
Did you see that that guy? He's just posting. Oh, he stopped it
The,
now.
Mm.
the
What the
wall.
fuck's his name?
The wall.
Tranny photos?
No, Pitchy.
Pitchy, he's posting one of the posts from Bitcoin Talk, and he's just
Over and over and over.
That was Crypto Play Jack.
When I first started messing with this, I played understudy to a guy who was a trader, and he was teaching me about the candlesticks and Fibonacci and basic stuff. And we got pretty deep into it. And then after a while, he said, "Why don't you let me take a look at the stuff that you're holding and what you're doing?" And he looked at every one of them and he said, "Dude, just don't even do this. Don't even do it. You can't read this stuff like I do. You can't read this at all. I mean, it doesn't do what you expected it would do." So yeah. He said it's just too volatile right now to read properly like that. So the whole cup and handle thing, when you're sitting in a Discord and somebody's like, "Here's the cup and handle, it's coming," it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
No. It's you can look at the chart analysis, and if there's no other news or anything, then yeah, there's a percentage of chance that you base that on. It's a small percentage. You can tell when it's forming a certain pattern, it's going to do something, but that something is it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go up or down.
I'm not saying it doesn't raise your viability, but I'm just saying in this market, the viability that it gains is not enough. Whereas in the stock market, things are going to go a certain way based on the probability of the things that you're seeing, based on emotion. But in this case, the emotion's there. You have bots there. You have just news that comes out of nowhere, and oops, I missed it. I was 3 minutes late. So
manipulation.
Yeah, there's just so much manipulation, and it's so easy to do right now because it's just not that big of a thing, and people have big amounts of money, big amounts.
Yeah.
So.
Once the ratio of actual investors, regular traders, and once the wealth gets in the hands of average traders and not solely in the whales that can manipulate. Once it evens out, then it'll be more of a viable thing to look at the chart analysis and be able to depend on it a little bit more.
Yep.
But
right now, my technique.
It's too hard.
My technique is almost at least 100% every time, and it's because I buy them all at one. I buy everything at one, and I go to two, and then I'm good. If it goes back to one, I'll buy it again. That's how I do it. I just can't play anymore.
My main problem is just learning to let things go. You know, like if it's, I keep holding on, like waiting for it to go back up, but I'm like, I could be making money.
Yep.
And I need to stop that.
Yep. I did it with Japan coin. I was trying to get that million. That's the only reason I held it. It's against my own judgment. I never do that. I don't hold on to any coin ever.
Yeah.
But except Bitcoin to go to a different coin.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, or
I need to stop holding on to things that don't have a fundamental reason to go big. Like Komodo, Core even does. But like I had a big position in what was it, Monaco, and I just watched it go down, thinking, and I'm sure it'll go up, but man, it's taking a long time, and I'm getting annoyed just because I just need to start putting it. I'm passing too many other opportunities by.
Well, I'll tell you all right now, Coin Exchange has been down for a long time, many hours.
Coin Exchange?
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't know that they're still down, but they were last time I checked, like an hour ago. And when they come back, they are going to get slammed. You know, people are just poised and ready because usually when wallets go down or when exchanges go down, when they come back, they get tagged. So I'm looking forward to that because I have a few things in. I have a few things in at one, and I actually got a little riskier on this one. Some of them are set to go to 2, kind of fail safes for the rest of them. But what I did was, all the ones I invested in, I usually put in 0.01 Bitcoin, and I divide it in half. The first half goes now instead of 2 because I made a little bit of money, so I'm reaching out and taking some chances. And my next one will just be 2 if I lose all this, but I'm not gonna. I set my first half to go at 5, which will give me 2.5 times what I started with altogether, and then my second half is in the higher range. It depends on what I see as the original scale. That can be anywhere from 10 to 25, or in some cases it'll go to 90 or higher, but that high. I usually go like 39 tops. And for the second one, so maybe someday it'll hit it and I'll get 0.1, whatever. It's still not a lot.
Yeah.
As long as you're playing with small numbers,
Yeah.
And I mean in quantities too when I say that, because if you're putting too much on, then you make buy walls or sell walls and cause problems.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that with Monaco. Core just another 23%, 26% today.
Really?
Yesterday it was 40%. It's at $7.15 right now.
That's amazing.
Motherfucker's pumping. Look at the chart on it. It is doing good.
You're talking about what exchange, Bittrex?
Yeah, Bittrex, Core Coin. The one I told you about the announcement on it, the swap and.
Yes, you did. Core with a K.
Yeah. That one's it's just gonna get bigger. I think I'm actually gonna get rid of my Monaco and put it into this. I'm not even gonna wait for it to go down at all because I don't think it's gonna go down much.
There are a lot of coins out there that have a real purpose, but to be honest with you, we have yet to see any of them come into play. I mean, you see Ethereum at work, and you see it doing the smart contract thing, and that still feels like the steel frame structure to a building, and and you see coins come out.
They need a lot.
They do.
They need a lot of side chains to really make those smart contracts to do anything, because all this what everyone's talking about using smart contracts for.
Yeah.
Anything that's not directly related to the Ethereum blockchain, where is it going to get that information from? You have to have a side chain that pulls that information in there. So there's got to be a lot more, and a lot of the stuff they're talking about, I don't even think is possible.
Well, I mean, if you're doing it on a simplistic level, if you're just trading out something for money or you're divvying up money that exists, that's not a big deal. You just have to prove that the entity exists for it to, cover the switch on one side. Or on both sides, depending. But, I mean, what do you mean on complicated levels? What do you mean?
Okay. They're talking about, like, using smart contracts for legal purposes, like, okay, so, I'm sorry. I'm eating something. Real estate, now they can do some stuff with, if they have like a IPFT or whatever it is, type of side chain that can store deeds and stuff like that.
Right.
But there's articles and like Coinbase and Telegraph and all that stuff where they talk about using smart contracts for all kinds of different industries and things that require information to be pulled from the blockchain. Like how is it going to know if someone dies or if things that are completely unrelated to cryptocurrency or anything. How is that going to run on a blockchain?
Things that are corporeal have to be manually input. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and and it's a consensus. So, all the nodes have to get that information, and once another node has, once a certain amount of nodes have, different information, it all goes to crap. So it's who's going to input that information? Where are they going to pull it from? I mean, in the future, in the very, very, very far future from where we are right now, it's definitely, more and more things will be digitized, digitally ran. So I mean, yeah, in the very far future, I think it could work. But right now, I mean, setting up a smart contract for ICOs, yeah, that works. But because you're using tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, but anything else, I don't know. It seems pretty. I haven't seen anything written up to explain how they're gonna do, implement any of it. I should
Right.
say.
Well, that's actually a really common thing. I've been bitching about that for a while, but it's not a weakness of Ethereum, really, or smart contracts.
Yeah.
It's digital currency in general that logs things. Like, for instance, I talk about this one all the time. There's a and I couldn't find it if I tried. There's 900 of these things, right? But there was one where its sole purpose was to track the destination's sources, growth process or raising process, depending upon what it is, and ingredient detail of foods. And I'd always say, well, if I piss in your tomatoes, how does that get added to the blockchain? What do you do about that? Because corporeal things don't really necessarily go straight into the ether. So yeah, those kinds of things without like a hive mind of everything, and everyone seeing everything and everyone knowing that someone pissed in the tomatoes and that person knowing at least, it's just not going to happen. But digital things, yeah, definitely. So if you're buying a car title, if you're buying a house, it's just an if then. If this is here, then switch the two.
Yeah, yeah. There's just a lot of variables that aren't able to be pulled into the blockchain, like using a smart contract for your will or something. Like, how is your, that requires all obituaries or whatever to be posted to a blockchain from every county in the U.S. Like it's crazy.
See, I don't see a sense in that at all. Not putting wills on a blockchain, but that would be an entire coin. That wouldn't be just a smart contract. You would have a coin just for storing wills or that sort of data. And honestly, if I had the money to do it, and I had that kind of money where I was like Kim.com kind of money, I would pay. Well, I'd probably do it myself if I were he, but I would pay someone to create a really complicated algorithm to store my personal data in for me to keep, just to have it as a secondary place that couldn't be altered or messed with, based on the amount of different ledgers.
What kind of data? About?
Well, like you said, for will or anything super personal data that I would want to keep.
This is like they're talking about using a smart contract for your will. So say, okay, for people that are holding a lot of cryptocurrencies, what's going to happen to your Bitcoin if you die tomorrow? If you're holding, hundreds of Bitcoin, and you can set up to like, your, if you, there are certain things you can do, but that requires you trigger something to happen every, within every year. If such and such doesn't happen, your coins go to this wallet.
Yeah.
So you have to trigger it saying that, yes, I'm alive, I'm good,
Right.
There are things you can do like that, but a lot of the other things that they're talking about. I mean, as far as posting, storing data, IO coin, you should look into that one. They're actually having news coming out on like next week or something. But that basically saves data on the blockchain, and it's a pretty cool. The devs are awesome, and they're doing a lot of work, and there's a lot. It's a lot to explain. It'd just be easier for you to read it. But it's pretty cool. I'm looking into buying some up. I've been watching it for like the last couple months.
Yeah.
That and Internet of People, but that one's.
I've been hearing a lot of that lately.
Crazy. Yeah, that one's just like been pumping like crazy because they're having news coming up, but
Yeah.
wonder what it's at right now.
Well, I think having an Ethereum smart contract that acts as a durable power of attorney, or can show a will in the case of a doctor or something like that, they can't be altered, because a durable power of attorney is necessary. You want them, if you want them to turn off switches and not keep you alive for 40 years on things, you need to have that notice to disconnect, basically, to turn off the switch. And if they don't have it, the doctor can take it upon themselves to do. And even if you do have that, by the way, if you have a letter that says, if I end up comatose with only one eyeball and a little bit of nerve hanging, don't keep the eyeball alive. Even if you have that, if the doctor has, in most cases, their own idea of what they need to do based on the Hippocratic Oath, I need to keep this man alive, and that's the case, then they'll do that. They'll do it unless someone is there to enforce it. So, a smart contract could be used for that, I suppose, but it doesn't create a human that gets in there and says, no, pull the plug, asshole. I don't.
Well, that would be your lawyer.
Right. Well, no, that's just the person that you put in that position, power of attorney.
But you can have a lawyer. You can have a lawyer.
Yeah, you can, but I'm in my friend's will, and I'm that person for him. Me and two other people are, just in case, so we can all go in as a team and do like a barbershop. What is it? Trio. Barbershop trio. No, yeah, but there's only 3 of us. So it's me and 2 other people. Sorry, so 3 total.
Yeah.
But to store data for the sake of doctors being able to see that sort of thing, that's fine. And to divvy out, I guess, bitcoins, that's easy to do, but to divvy out parts of a house, nah, not so much.
Yeah. Here, I'll post you the link to IO Coin. It's very interesting.
All right, thank you. I'm avoiding that room for a moment because my son's in there screaming.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting food ready.
But it's they're in 31 days coming out with Dions or something like that. Decentralized input output name server is what they're adding to their blockchain. And let's see here. That's the news that's coming up for them. But let me see. Let me see if I can find a quick little rundown of description. Yeah, storage for legal documents, identity storage, private public aliases, and identity registration, transfer of ownership, key exchange, to exchange like PGP, RSA keys, encrypted messaging. You can get an alias on there and everything's encrypted to you unless you send it to someone else, unless you send someone the key for it.
See, that's what I was saying. As an eccentric thing, to have your own blockchain made to store your own data with no one else's on it would be amazing. As an eccentric.
Yeah. Well, this is basically this would do that for you. This can store documents, and it does a lot more, but.
And what is? Let me get a look at this.
It's all working right now. I mean, except for the new stuff that they're implementing, it's all basically working. Like they just haven't been marketed like crazy, so they're not they're not one of the one names you know of, but they are everything's like working. You can use it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start looking into it some more because I think that one's gonna get some real attention soon.
IonCoin.io.
IO Coin.
Oh, I'm sorry, iocoin.io. Oh my
Yeah.
God, iocoin. Wow. This is pretty interesting. Yeah, as a service, this has a reason for being.
Yeah, exactly.
It's intelligent. Anything with records.
Yeah. Hospitals, legal, medical.
They still have the same chance every other coin has, unfortunately, in this environment, but they at least have a reason for being, like Dentacoin.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of they've done a lot of work,
Uh-huh.
and they have a lot of long-term investors that aren't selling. Like if you look at their charts,
Yeah.
It hasn't pumped like crazy, but it has really held stable for a long time.
Mm.
I think because people know what's involved in it, and they know
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
Hey, here's another thing. I don't know if anyone's holding Dentacoin, but the ICO launched today, and on Cryptopia it has raised from 2 to 5. So you can
Really?
expect that there will likely be a massive pump on Coin Exchange as soon as it comes online.
Wow.
So if anybody's holding Dentacoin, get ready.
Then, so what exactly did they have an ICO of?
Are we talking about Dentacoin? I mean, what I was just talking about. I have no idea. I'm talking to you and trying to prepare a baby bottle, and I swear to God, I just poured the milk into a cup. Dentacoin is, well, I won't explain what it is unless you ask, but.
No, I know what it is.
Okay.
But I'm just wondering why they're doing what they're doing an ICO for, since they've been selling the coin for a while.
Because the release was originally on Cryptopia and then hit Coin Exchange, and that release was the original ICO. That was the first batch. If you wanted in early, there it was. You get it at whatever price it's at. But now, the ICO they're releasing basically gives you a lock-in at 3 Satoshi, which means some people are going to be able to buy the hell out of millions of it at the lowest possible rate. And
what was it sitting at before that?
And that's not the lowest possible. It's been down to 1. It's touched it, but the very lowest it usually gets is 2. And that's pretty rare that it does that. So people were buying it 2 and selling it, 3, or selling it 5 or whatever. But
have you looked into their community or their development or anything like that?
I have, yeah. I know everything about the coin.
Really? Is it worth anything? Are they doing something, or are they just selling the coins that they were holding?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. It's okay. So Dentacoin, what it is?
I should have known you were being sarcastic.
Yeah. It is a currency among. Hold on, let me fix my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, my hair is in mid-growth, so I use my headphones to hold it back, and every now and then it slips through and falls right in my eyes. Okay, Dentacoin is actually the currency that will be used in right now one dentist office that they have functional, but they're setting up chains of that company, and they're going to bring other companies into it. Now, a thing to keep in mind is this is only relevant to people in the United States, and I did not know that when I first found out about the coin. I thought the whole world was like, what's up?
It is in the United States?
No, this is only relevant to the United States. I think it might actually be in the United States or the UK, but I'm pretty sure it has to be, and I'll tell you why. Our medical record system sucks. The rest of the world has digital medical records for the most part. Most of Europe does, and I didn't even know that until I started talking to some people in here. So I thought this was like a game changer for the world. When it comes to be only a game changer for the United States and places that operate like that. And the reason is, in the United States, up until like the 3rd year of Obama's tenure, there was no reason to ever make a medical record digital. There's no reason to do it. And he mandated that people make them digital. Over the next few years, you're going to start, turning them into digital, and that's what he did. So over the next few years, or at least until it's repealed, and I doubt that's going to happen. They've been doing it for a while. They're turning all medical records digital over time. I guess the government will reimburse them the cost of paying their employees to do it. But anyway, it's just like the government paying everybody to change all the things over to the Y2K, to 2000 for the Y2K bug and all that crap. So anyway, in America, if you went to this doctor, we'll say Dr. Smith, you've been there your whole life. Your grandmother took you there when you couldn't even talk, and he knows everything about you. He knows about the broken nose. He knows about the kidney issues. He knows all those things. And then one day he comes out, knocks on your door butt naked, and talks about how Jesus came out of an alien spacecraft and wants you to strip naked and get on the spacecraft with him, and you don't want to see the guy anymore. So now you go to another doctor. And this doctor has to build a new medical, a portfolio on you of records because they don't have the old records. So he calls the other doctor and he says, "Hey, Dr. Smith, I have this patient here. I need medical records for it." And Dr. Smith says, "Well, you can pay me for them." And that's perfectly reasonable because Dr. Smith has paper. He either has to do it himself, and he's a doctor, time is money, or he has to pay an employee to transcribe that stuff, and he ain't got time for that shit. So what Obama didn't make it so they had to share that stuff. He just made it so it made it a lot easier. You just all you gotta do now is press a button to share that stuff. So hopefully you'll do it. And it was really a precursor to something like the blockchain. So skip to now. These guys are actually taking these medical records that are used within their chains, and they're putting them on the blockchain so they can be accessed instantly from anyone in the network. And that's another thing that the coin does. So it's also a currency that you can spend in those doctors' offices, and it will also determine your level of insurance within the doctors' offices. So if you had billions of this coin, you'd do a hell of a lot better on insurance, as well as use it as money, as well as know that your medical records are kept between any one of the places that you go. In case you're going to Cancun and you want to get your teeth worked on, they happen to have one there. So that's something, as far as crypto is concerned, it's one of the few things I've seen, just like the one you just posed, that actually solves a problem. It almost puts a wheel on a cart. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Now, I thought that was a worldwide thing, and I thought for sure this was going to make me a billionaire, and then I realized that it's just America. However, America has a really large share in the world's marketing, and sales. So I think it's still going to be a pretty strong thing if they can get it off the ground. Either way, it's going to jump today.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you answered the question. I just might not have understood or heard. But now is it the Coin itself? The blockchain is going to be for medical records, correct?
It's going to be right now for dentists' medical records, not for doctors.
Dentists, yeah.
Yes, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it will, exactly. And is the coin itself going to be used for paying?
It is, and they're talking about incorporating, the full medical industry into it if it ever got that large. But right now they're worried about their doctors or their dentists' offices.
Well, dentists are like a huge underserved population because America doesn't have insurance for dentists.
No, and there's a few other things on that.
Not any real insurance. They I don't know what the deal is with America. What it is dentists have great lobbyists, and they put a lot of money into it to make it to where we can't have insurance on it, and we have to pay up the ass for dental work.
Well, the way the medical industry works in America is, at one time they would just charge like any other serviceman. They might gouge, they might not. Like, for instance, I was a service plumber. I am a service plumber, and I'm worth about $60-$80 an hour. But when I have a helper and I have a van and I have all the things that I need. So you could say that that's gouging, but damn it, that's what I'm worth. And I can do shit that no one else can do. I can pour wiped lead joints upside down and all kinds of things that no one even does anymore. And the reason that you hire a serviceman is not for what they can do, but what they can do when things go wrong, because things go wrong, and that's why you hired them. So anyway, that said, our medical industry is set up so that at one time they used to just charge accordingly, and maybe they gouge, maybe they didn't, but they would say, okay, this cast is going to cost $5 to put together, so we'll mark it up, whatever, we'll charge you $20. And it was reasonable gouging if it was gouged, because it was hand to hand. They were just determining the costs and throwing out a price. Then later, insurance companies had been around for a bit, and they didn't feel that they were getting enough of a discount on people who were paying insurance, early on.
Oh
And
yeah, the charge master. Oh
right,
yeah.
the charge master, that's exactly it. So they have their own list, and every hospital has their own charge master, and they can charge you $3 billion for an aspirin if they want. And the insurance company gives you a percentile, like, look, you get 75% off with this insurance, but you're getting 75% off of a $10,000, Q-tip. So, that's stupid. And this sort of thing kind of helps that be abolished, So I like that. I like to see that, where they have one standard payment method and one insurance company and one record thing. It's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, it is, but no, it's things have gotten so screwed up with lobbying that there's a lot of problems that need to be solved. A lot of them.
I think I can't get anywhere where I can escape the noise. This is crazy. There's a damn race car or something going down the road. All right. I think that the blockchain standardizing a lot of things and making them accessible to everyone is probably the greatest thing that could happen to us on a lot of different levels. But I'm not sure that we're going to see that change in the next decade or so. But it's going to happen slowly.
I think we'll see it in the next decade. Things are speeding up really fast. I think we'll see it in the next decade. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll take
maybe
that long.
I think we're going to spend the next 5-8 years through a revolution. I think we may, depending upon what the countries do, based on what they want to show for face against North Korea. We could easily see ourselves trading crypto on a subnet like the IRC or the dark web. Those aren't the same thing, but you know what I mean. Some place where people don't normally go and they only do things in text. And the only people who might have Bitcoin soon would be the criminals themselves, because the governments are all saying, no, we're going to go ahead and outlaw the ability to purchase things with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy. That's what Russia's talking about.
It's crazy. I mean, they can't. The thing is that they can do it for the masses of people, but the masses of people don't know how to use a VPN either. So
nope. You know what I'm going to do when that happens? If Russia does that, I'm going to buy the hell out of Sibcoin. I'm going to buy it like crazy, because I don't think it's going to be permanent. And and when it does come back, Sibcoin's worth $1. It's worth $1.20 right now, and it's always been. And I want me a Sibcoin masternode really badly, just one. I want 600, but who can do that?
Yeah.
It's only like a couple bucks a month for those things. That's all you get from their masternodes, but it wouldn't necessarily be like that after a rebound.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Yeah, I just gave myself an idea.
We should create a list of the coins that actually have a good utility.
Yeah.
Something good. I mean, there are a lot that are really good coins that have a good technology, good better than the others, but ones that actually have functions that don't just go towards a cryptocurrency and trading.
Yeah, well, that was part of our list rule. Yeah, definitely.
I just posted a video that I recommend you guys watch. It's a 7-minute video. It's from 10x. It just explains. I know I was listening to the radio over the last 48 hours, and there's a lot of FUD happening within the radio, where people are saying in regards to the coins being banned and all the rest like that. It's not governments banning the coins, it's what they're about to do with the coins that people need to understand. And 10x just posted a video explaining it, probably the easiest way I could explain it, and I suggest watching it because of what is about to happen. The governments don't want to ban cryptocurrency. They want the blockchain for themselves,
right?
For particular reasons, because it is clear and transparent. They can use the blockchain for your tax. They can use Bitcoin for that. However, what they want to do is create a clear and consensus path for each country, and where the banks will create their own cryptocurrency, where the country will create their own cryptocurrency, etc., etc. But what I suggest is spend 7 minutes watching this guy with his video, very, very informative, and it explains it in detail where I think everyone would understand. So that's just my 2 pennies. But what he's saying and what I've seen happening, I think coinciding, and I believe what he's saying as well. So
Yeah. It's the temporary thing. I won't even
out.
pretend that was my idea. That was his idea, actually. That it was only temporary
no,
because.
I understand, but have a look.
Yeah.
Russia will try to ban things. China has banned what they've done, but they wanted to introduce regulation, which is what they've done. Now China is making their own blockchain currency and releasing that, and that's where everything changed.
What's that?
Yeah.
You go underground. You ban it, it's going to go underground. They can never kill it, and they know that.
Yeah.
No, they want to control the direction of the currency, and they've been doing that for a long time because they're fighting inflation.
Yeah.
They have to get yen. Is it yen? It's yen, right?
Yuan.
Yuan.
Yeah, yuan.
Okay. I thought that was South Korea or whatever. But
No.
anyways, they're trying to get as much of their currency out of their country as they can to fight inflation. And they've been they've been doing a lot. They've been trying, that's why they brought so much manufacturing into their country. That's why they've bought up so much investments in the U.S. But with cryptocurrency trading $2 billion a day or whatever, and with the potential of rapidly multiplying, there's a huge amount of unchecked currency going on, and they can't, that could totally offset, their that's a huge amount of money happening per day, and that can totally work against what they're trying to do. So I mean, they had to do it based on their own fundamentals, and I knew they were gonna bring it back, but they have to be able to have some kind of safeguard and control over it. And they've done it with every industry that they've had, and they do things in a real shitty way. They make big threats, and then they come back with a half step so that everyone accepts it. But it's just all about controlling the direction of their currency and getting their share, and profiting in the the manipulation of it. I'm sure they all made a shit ton of money buying it while it was low, and they benefit from it all, though. But I mean, they're not going to turn their back to all that money, but they're going to definitely try and control it.
I'm here, I guess, screaming baby.
No, you're good. I was just watching that video.
All right, got a bottle in the mouth, and we are good to go again. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, when this first all went down, we actually had to talk about it. Yeah. And people were saying, "Oh, China's going to shut it down," and they were like, "No. Here's the deal. They want to control it with their fiat. They want to just say, no, we've got our money here in our country, and we can't control our money if this digital currency is here." And I said, "No, guys, no, that doesn't make any sense. Think about it. How do you best stand to benefit from something like that? You're controlling the cryptocurrency. If you're seeing this much money going to the rest of the world, why would you be like, stick your fingers in yours and be like, no, we can't hear you?" You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that because everybody else is getting rich. They're all getting Lambos. You're not going to do that. You're going to use your power to seize as much of it that exists in your country as you can, or at least seize control of its production.
Well, yeah, that and the amount of percentage that you can make, they don't want, they reserve, like that's why you have to make a certain amount of money per year to be able to be like an angel investor
Yeah,
and invest in
right.
things. They reserve that stuff for the rich. They
Right.
keep that stuff for themselves. So they don't want average people to be able to all of a sudden take their income and be able to rapidly multiply it. They don't want that happening, and that's part of it.
Well, those are
So
reserved
they're
to the
gonna.
specific exchanges, in the individual countries and the individual entities. But that's absolutely true. Not the secret society level of it, maybe, but the thing is, and this is why it has to stop. This is why they have to stop it. They have to do something, because it is distributing wealth to the rest of the world. And for a while,
Yeah.
on that secret society level, there's been, a small percentile that has all of the money, and now, it's getting passed around. It's getting passed around like crazy without any control. And it's going to get distributed that way because people lose money, people make money. It's kind of hard to make money. Somebody has to be losing it right now. I just don't understand how so many people are making money in crypto. Somebody has to lose it. So
Yeah, I know. And it's like when things jump up so high and it's so obvious that it's going to come down, like that it's going to crash real hard, like who's buying it?
Yeah.
Who the hell is buying it at that price?
Somebody.
I mean I get, I'm sure there's people that, when you're just starting out and you only have a little bit of money, your mindset's way completely different when you say have 20 bitcoins and you're looking at investing on a lot larger scale.
Yeah.
But even then, like, are you really gonna buy it just because the exchange might not have as many coins as you're trying to buy, so you're just trying to get them all as fast as you can? I don't understand.
Well, people do.
I'm
one
sure
time.
Certain reasons for it. I mean,
you must have done it one time. Saw that it was going up and said, "I better get on that." I did.
Well, no. I mean, there's certain times when you can see the pattern in it. Well, I guess there are a lot of new people.
Right. That's exactly it. You've been educated. You've been burned.
Yeah, there's a lot of new people, and I guess they are, but it just seems like there's such a, there's always buy orders, lots of buy orders in when it's really high, and it's like who the hell would put those in? Not all the time, but you see it quite a lot.
Well, sometimes it's the people pumping, and sometimes if they have a bot, it's super efficient. For instance, it's pushing up to, oh, sorry, damn it, I took the bottle out of his mouth. If it's pushing up to 35, they sell at 32 and then sell a couple more at 35, so, or buy a couple more at 35, sell a couple at 32, and then buy a couple at 36, and, just keep it bouncing that way so that other people in between actually do buy it. But like you said, who does it? Who buys at the top? The only person who could do it is new money. That's the only person. Because anyone else would have already seen it and they're like, nope, bye-bye. Yeah. It's just going to the moon without me.
Or the people, like what's going on with like salt lending right now.
Yeah.
Buy it from our ICO for 20 and not from me.
Yeah.
Like what the... Who the hell would do that? I mean, it would be somebody who's completely uneducated. And that, to me, I wanted to buy into salt lending. I thought it was a good program, but the fact that they're obviously taking advantage of new people.
Yeah.
Because why else would you do that? No one's gonna buy it.
Right.
I mean even I can't imagine that huge of a price difference to if I'm gonna take my 20 Bitcoin and cash everything and get my 20 Bitcoin and buy up salt and I'm for that big of a price difference of 4 times the price, I'm just gonna go, I'll get it from the ICO because it's easier. I don't have to deal with trying to buy it on the exchange.
That's weird. The ICO should be cheaper. Even in Dentacoin, it was cheaper. Well, it wasn't cheaper. They released it on the exchange they released it at 5 on the exchange originally, I believe. And it went up, it went down, whatever. But that was the early release. If you wanted, you could buy it at 5 or whatever it's at whenever it goes there. Well, when they release the ICO, they release it as a standard of 3, which isn't the lowest it's been, but it's definitely on the lower end of the scale. So,
Well, that's awesome. You
right?
know?
And you have to buy a minimum of 1 Ethereum or 1 Bitcoin. I don't remember the total on Ethereum, but Bitcoin is 33 million. So anyone who buys that ICO is either holding for a long time or they're going to pump like a son of a bitch. Coinbase is going to get hit.
So you have to buy 1 Bitcoin to get it at 3?
Yep. If you want to solidify, if you want to lock in, rather, at 3 Satoshi, you have to buy 1 entire Bitcoin at a time. They give you 33 million.
Now,
That's
how has it been looking? Does it look like it's gonna? If it looks like it's really gonna do good, I might have to look into that.
It is going to do good, but you're probably a little late buying it. I don't know if it's on crypto. No, don't let me FOMO you into that shit. I could be way wrong, but it has gone to.
No, I'm not gonna just jump on it.
Well, it's gone as high as 10. So I can guarantee you that just with what they're releasing in news, it will at least go back to 10 again, and you could sell it at 9, whatever it's at right now. But I don't know how long that would be. I'm certain that it will go much higher than that, though.
Well, it also is going all of this that they're selling from their ICO is going to increase their circulating supply, so that's also going to affect the price.
Yeah, it will.
So.
Yep, they're increasing the circulation. Those guys are going to take those things, most of them, and they're just going to. Right now, people look at ICOs as just a way to get rich. You know, they buy the ICO up cheap, they wait till it goes on exchange, they dump it at whatever price they want, and they walk away. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of the same thing I'm doing, buying at 1. You know, I'm just hoping. And and so
it's a lot easier.
right. So in this case, that's why I pretty much consider it a guarantee to myself. I won't say it to everybody else. This is not financial advice, but pretty sure it's going to pump really hard on Coin Exchange. And the reason is, for whatever reason, the engine that they're using for their exchange, I don't know, it's just way easier to pump coins there. They go really, really high. I mean, really high. Look at Rupee.
Yeah.
It was 60, and then it went straight to freaking 8,000 plus. That's craziness.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Zenta coin's going in between 4 and 5. It went down to 3 yesterday. Yeah. Huh. And they're gonna have more people selling. Now, are there gonna be people that are gonna want to buy those?
I bought some at 3, just because I wanted back in.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go down after the ICO for a little bit, but then it's gonna start going back up.
I'm selling.
The people that are buying it at 3 are going to be, thinking more long term. I don't think people that. Since it's already been out, I don't think there's going to be as many people buying it just to dump it,
No, there aren't. I will.
Yeah, I know, but if all these people have coins to dump, it's not going to go up. So why even buy it?
Well, I can tell you in the case of I'm doing it all day long on Paris, and as a matter of fact, there's no other reason to buy Paris, because if you look at Paris,
well, yeah, but that's a lot different though. There's not that. Denta coin's got a lot of volume, so it actually, at least but they're selling a lot, increasing their supply. Paris, I mean, it can't go down any further.
No, Paris is a true shit coin, and its only purpose was to just be a super expensively priced digital currency that you could use to buy Lambos, basically. Literally, that's what it's for. It's for, Rolexes and stuff like that.
Boy, did that backfire.
Well, it didn't. It did exactly what the dev wanted to do. He got the negative feedback, or the negative rapport, which caused a stir. It got the name out there long enough for people to throw their money on it, and then he dumped in the very beginning. And then some other dev, had to be a dev, or someone who bought an ICO, dumped millions of it at one. So, yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the ICO thing doesn't make sense. That had to be the dev or something. Somebody who was in on mining or something crazy. Who knows? Don't care. All I know is it made me a lot of money. I mean, based on what money I had to start with, 500 grand, and between that and a couple other trades, ended up with 1.6. or
Yep.
0.16. So not going to complain. On the Dentacoin thing, though, I accidentally screwed myself on that because I was half asleep and I was high and I placed it all up for a certain amount. And I realized that I was doing the 2-stage placing now. So I pulled it all back down and I put half of it up at, I don't know, like whatever price, I don't know. But it meant to put the second one at 5 instead, or at 5. So I was just going to make, I forget what the percentile was, but it was a little less than.
Price step up, yeah.
You're right, and I accidentally put it in for 3, and I bought it at 5, so I wasn't putting it at 5, I was putting it at 10. Yeah, and I put it in for 3. I think I meant to sell that one for 30. I don't know what I did. I just know that I sold my shit immediately after I bought it for 2 less, and it was only on a 1 to 5 scale, so there it went. And then what I have left, I actually, just put up at a higher level just to make it all back. I'm basically just getting my money back now.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever messed up putting in money, and I'm cool that it happened now.
Yeah.
And Japan coin's a piece of shit, but I'll tell you straight up, if that shit drops to 1 Satoshi, I'm gonna buy up 1 million of it.
Did you say coin exchange is down?
Yeah. Is it back up?
I thought I went on it earlier today.
Oh, maybe it's been up and down. They got hit with some malware or something. I don't know. There was a warning screen that said that.
I was gonna ask you, did they come out with any new coins?
I don't know. They did last night. They came out with 1. They've been coming out with new coins every night, but last night only 1.
It looks like it's up.
Cool. How's Dentacoin? DCN.
Let me,
it's probably 5.
Let me get all logged in.
I will go look at it myself. Although I might have to mute, as the boy looks like he wants to cry.
Oh, what about Nova Exchange? Did that come out with any new coins?
Not last night. Not up until 12 noon today. We can find out right now. I'm not your mom. I know I look like her.
But I don't care, give me that titty.
Yep. Beard and all. She would love me saying that. No, I'm just kidding. My wife is not bearded. Yeah, I know. It wasn't that funny. I get it. Nova Exchange. Ugh, I hate when if I right click in Opera once in a while, it opens a new page for some weird reason. It's pretty irritating. Yeah, DCN. Yeah.
Negative 20%.
I'm gonna mute.
Oh, what the fuck? I got blocked. No, Dentacoin. When I try to click on Dentacoin, it blocks me. Access denied. This request was blocked by the security rules. Your IP, blah 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 blah. I don't know what they're doing with that. Let me try.
I wonder if they locked the United States out. That would suck.
Well, here, let me
I would get like
my
0.05 Bitcoin on that some gun. I know, it's depressing, buddy. I'll leave it sit for like a year and come back and check it with a VPN.
You want a VPN account? Do you not have one?
I'm sure I can get one pretty easily if I asked. But
yeah.
Let's just see what's going on with it.
If you can't get one, let me know. I can get you an account.
I appreciate that. We're looking at. Let's go here.
It looks like they put up a firewall or something that you have to get through before you log in.
I wonder why.
They must have been attacked.
Yeah, but God damn it!
It's not even letting me on the markets now.
I'm gonna have to stop the recording. I can't do this.
That's okay.
Yeah.